Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. This is game number 61 of a 162 game created franchise on MLB The Show 20 for PlayStation 4. The Avengers is a created franchise with all created players from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The team has been placed into the National League West. The standings are on the screen. It is I believe the beginning of June. Game number 61. The Avengers are 37-23. As you can see, they're in second place, 2 games behind the LA Dodgers in the division. Let's go to the calendar and see what the next game in the schedule is. So we're going to have starting a 4-game set at San Francisco, at the San Francisco Giants, starting with Chris Hemsworth on the mound, Thor versus Gio Gonzalez. Let's do this. Play game. Do you want to continue? Yes. Play full game. We are the away team at Oracle Park in San Francisco. Overcast skies. Chris Hemsworth, Thor is 9-3. Looks like some people are tired. Let's leave him in there. Let's take Don Cheadle out and put in Vin Diesel. Let's switch Mark Ruffalo and Chris Evans behind the plate. But other than that, let's keep the team exactly the way it is. Mackie, Holland, Chadwick, Evans, Ruffalo. Okay, let's do this. I hit, I pitch, I field. I do not run the bases. I let the computer run the bases for me, and the difficulty setting for hitting and pitching is set to All-Star. This is Avengers Baseball. Welcome. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Welcome to Oracle Park here in San Francisco, California, as the Hollywood Avengers visit the San Francisco Giants. On the mound for the Giants is Gio Gonzalez, making his 12th start of the season. He's 5-4 with a 4.50 earned run average. And leading off for the Avengers is Anthony Mackie. Cut the check. He's hitting .315, 7 homers, 38 RBIs. He's a switch hitter, batting from the right side against the lefty Gonzalez. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. Pitch is low, ball 1. Giants are 34-25, good for third place in the National League West. Second and third place teams going at each other head to head. Out in front of the changeup, swinging and a miss. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Fouls off the fastball. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. 50 degrees and overcast with the wind blowing off the ocean in McCovey's Cove. Comes the pitch from Gonzalez. Down and in. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. First game of a 4-game series here at Oracle Park. And that's a deep drive. Back goes the left fielder to the track, the wall, looking up. It's Gonzo. That's a solo home run to lead off the ball game. Cut the check. Anthony Mackie, the man who plays Sam Wilson in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, leads off this ball game with his 8th home run of the season to take an early 1-0 lead. Let's look at the replay. Boom. Tracking it. The track wall leaps and cannot come down with it. Solo homer to lead off the game. Next up for the Avengers is Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man. 365, 9 homers, 42 runs batted in. Pitches outside for ball 1. You conservative, Nightbot. I don't know if I would necessarily consider myself that, but I'm not here to talk politics. Pitch is in there. Strike 1. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike on Spidey. Here comes a pitch from Gio. Mr. Outlander, welcome to the stream. That's a line drive to center. Hangs up there for the center fielder, who makes the catch for out number 1. Starting lineup for the Avengers, Anthony Mackie led off this game with a home run. He plays shortstop. Tom Holland at second. Chadwick Boseman at third. The DH is Chris Evans. Mark Ruffalo is in catching. Robert Downey Jr. is at first, Dave Bautista's in right, Idris Elba's in left, and batting ninth is Vin Diesel. I am Groot playing center field. The late, great Chadwick Boseman hitting 344 steps to the plate, takes his pitch for strike one. Chadwick's hitting 344, 8 homers, 25 runs batted in.
Nope, ball one.
Pitch is down and in. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Welcome to the stream, Nightbot. Not here to talk politics, just here to play baseball. This is Avengers Baseball. Rusty Valentine is the home plate umpire calling balls and strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 away here in the top of the first. 1-0 lead for the MCU. And he pulls it foul down the left field line. Count will remain 1 balls and 2 strikes. Checks his swing. Change up, sails low. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chadwick Boseman, we lost him in 2020 to colon cancer. But he lives on in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, at least in Avengers Baseball. It's a single, a 1-out single by T'Challa, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, baby. And the inning continues. Here's the replay down the third base line and into left field. Next up is the first Avenger, Chris Evans, 291, 6 homers, 26 runs batted in. Sorry for your time. You're not wasting my time. I'm glad you're here. Big lead at first base for Chadwick Boseman. He's going. Pitches in there for a strike. Throw down a second is not in time. It is a stolen base. Wakanda Forever. And the Avengers now have a runner in scoring position now with 1 away. Evans has a 0-1 count. Pitch is low. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Chris Evans plays Steve Rogers in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Just gets a piece of the changeup. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner leads off second. Here comes the pitch from Gonzalez. That's a line drive right at the second baseman for out number 2. My son did my intro for me for episode 6 of Mass Effect 2. Well, I'm very much enjoying your Outlander Legendary Edition playthrough, Outlander. Those of you that may be unaware, the Outlander show is a YouTube channel. Please go check that out. Up next is Mark Ruffalo hitting 329, 12 homers, 47 runs batted in. 2 outs here in the bottom. Check the top of the first. Pitch is outside, ball 1. Mark's leading the team with 47 runs batted in. 2 months of the season have gone by. And he fouls off the changeup. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Here comes the pitch from Gonzalez. Deep drive towards the left center field gap. And it is caught by the left fielder to retire the side. But they do get a run on the solo home run from Anthony Mackie, the new Captain America. And after a half inning of play here in San Francisco, it's the Avengers 1, the Giants nothing. So pitching for the Avengers is Thor Odin's son, Chris Hemsworth. He's making his 13th start of the season. He's 9-3 with a 2.77 earned run average. He brings the thunder. And leading off for the San Francisco is Tony Gwynn, hitting 304, 4 homers, 24 runs batted in. Here comes the first pitch from Hemsworth. Fastball low, ball 1. Avengers are 37-23, good for second place in the NL West. That's Tom Holland, Spider-Man at second base, and Dave Bautista in right field. And Gwynn wraps it foul for strike 1. Love me some baseball. welcome to the stream. Fly ball to left. Batista is there. Drax makes the catch for out number 1. Starting lineup for the San Francisco Giants: Tony Gwynn's in right, Chipper Jones is at third, Jimmy Fox at first, Cal Ripken is the shortstop, Brett Boone is at second, Eloy Jimenez in left, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is the DH, Shane Victorino's in center field, and batting ninth and catching is Shea Langoliers. Chipper Jones, 337, 6 homers, 24 runs batted in, steps up to the plate, 1 out, bases empty. Hard ground ball to Tony Stark, he fields it, takes it himself for out number 2. Next up is Jimmy Fox. Jimmy's hitting .315, 20 homers, 45 runs batted in. 2 outs, bases empty. Out in front of the sinking fastball, strike 1. Jimmy Fox is a Hall of Fame outfielder. Swing and a miss on the slider. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. And he fouls off the breaking pitch. Count remains 0-2. Struck him out swinging on the 2-seam fastball. And the side is retired. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Thor. And after 1 inning of baseball, it's 1-0 MCU. So we go to the top of the 2nd inning. Up steps Robert Downey Jr. First baseman hitting .275, 6 homers, 30 runs batted in. He plays Tony Stark, Iron Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And swings at the first pitch and grounds it. Nice play covering. Gio makes the out at first. Defensive alignment for the San Francisco Giants in the outfield from left to right is Eloy Jimenez, Shane Victorino, and Tony Gwynn. In the infield from left to right is Chipper Jones, Cal Ripken Jr., Brett Boone, Jimmy Fox at first with Shea Langoliers behind home plate. So 1 out, and up steps Drax the Destroyer. Dave Batista hitting .313, 5 homers, 26 runs batted in, breaking ball outside for ball 1. Two balls and no strikes to Dave. Dave is a former WWE professional wrestler. And he fouls off the fastball. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Just saw Army of the Dead on Netflix with Dave Batista starring in it. Loved it. Not a sponsor, just something I happen to personally like. Count is even as 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hard ground ball to the shortstop. Fields fires, got him. And there are 2 away. Next up is Idris Elba, Hemdahl in the Thor franchise. 296, 4 homers, check that, 23 RBIs. Fouls off the fastball for strike 1. MCU leads 1-0 here in the top of the 2nd inning in this first game of a 4-game series against San Francisco. And that is a diving, slicing line drive, hits off the heel of the glove of the left fielder and drops in for a single. It's a 2-out hit for Hemdahl. Batting leaders in the National League, the Avengers lead all other teams in batting average with a .312 collective average. Batting ninth and playing center field is I Am Groot, Vin Diesel, hitting an even .300. And that's a deep drive. It's got a chance. It is Gonzo. Oh, it's Gonzo. That is a 2-run home run for Vin Diesel. I Am Groot. And it's just like that, a 3-0 lead for the Avengers here in the top of the 2nd inning. Oh, yeah. Here's the replay. Took a breaking ball and deposited it over that left field fence. It ricocheted so hard off of the facing of the staircase that I thought it might have been a double off the wall. So 2 outs. Up steps Anthony Mackie. Pitches high, ball 1. Mackie led off the game with a home run. Solo shot, obviously. And that's a line drive headed towards the right center field gap. And it's going to roll all the way to the wall. This is going to be a foot race. He rounds second. He's headed to third. He's rounding third, and he's going to stop. He's stopping at third. It's a 2-out triple for Anthony Mackie, number 5 on the season. And he's 90 feet from scoring the 4th run of the ballgame as the pitching coach for the San Francisco Giants comes out there to slow things down a little bit for Gio Gonzalez. Next up is Tom Holland, runner at third. 2 away, 3-0 lead for the MCU. And that ball is in there. It is an RBI single. No, he's making a turn and headed for second. The throw to second is not in time. It's an RBI double for Spider-Man. That's Tom Holland's 15th double of the season, and it's a 2-out hit, which gives the Avengers a 4-0 lead. Here's the replay. Chadwick Boseman steps to the plate, singled in the first inning, hitting .347 on the season. And this one he slices the other way, but right at Tony Gwynn and right to retire the side. But the Avengers scored 3 runs. 2 of them on this, a 2-run home run by Vin Diesel after 1.5 innings of play here in Oracle Park. It's the Avengers 4, the Giants nothing. So we go to the bottom of the second. Up steps Cal Ripken Jr. playing shortstop. Where else would he play? He's hitting .266, 13 homers, 43 runs batted in. Comes the pitch from Chris Hemsworth. Hard ground ball, but easy play, routine play for T'Challa. Throws to first. 1 pitch, 1 away. Defensive alignment for the Avengers in the outfield from left to right is Idris Elba, Vin Diesel, and Dave Bautista. And in the infield from third base over is Chadwick Boseman, Anthony Mackie, Tom Holland, Robert Downey Jr., with Mark Ruffalo behind home plate. Next up is Brett Boone, the second baseman, .283, 18 homers, 48 runs batted in. Here comes the pitch. And that ball is high. It is far. It is gone. That is a solo home run. Brett Boone's 19th of the season. And it's a 4-1 ball game. Here's the replay. Projected 425 feet from home plate. Next up is Eloy Jimenez, the left fielder, hitting .280, 7 homers, 28 runs batted in. And that's a deep drive. It might be back-to-back, and it is. It's back-to-back for the San Francisco Giants. Jimenez hits a solo shot, his 8th of the season, and just like that, the lead is cut in half. It's 4-2 Avengers. The ball has been flying out of this ballpark today. Here's the replay. Next up is Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is hitting .351 in his last 9 games. Overall, .295, 15 homers, 43 runs batted in. Two-seam fastball outside for ball 1. It's time for the manager to make a mound visit, or the pitching coach for that matter, just to slow things down a little. No one's warming in the bullpen, just a check-in from the dugout to the mound. And he pulls the two-seamer foul. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike on Gurriel Jr. Swinging to miss the slider off the plate. Count is 1-2. And he jams him. Lazy fly ball to center field. There is Vin Diesel. He makes the catch for out number 2. Next up is the center fielder Shane Victorino, 325, 6 homers, 26 RBIs. He carries a 10-game hitting streak to the plate. Fouls off the sinking fastball for strike one. Shane Victorino played for the Philadelphia Phillies in real life. I believe that he played, I would say, in the early 2000s. Fouls it off. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. I wouldn't call him a Hall of Famer. He was definitely an all-star from time to time. And he lines it foul. Count remains 0-2. Grounder to second. Holland fields, throws to first in time to retire the side. But they scored 2 runs on 2 solo home runs. And at the end of 2 innings of play, it's the Avengers 4, the Giants 2. We go to the top of the third. Up steps Chris Evans. Lined out in the first inning, he is 0 for 1. He's a switch hitter batting from the left side. Here comes the pitch from Gonzalez. Swings at the first pitch, pops it up. Near second base, the first baseman makes the catch. Jimmy Fox for out number 1.
Now batting, number 80.
National League West standings, as you can see, the Los Angeles Dodgers lead the division with 2.5 games over the Avengers. San Fran is in 3rd place, 5 games back. Next up is Mark Ruffalo. He flew out in the first. He is 0 for 1. Fastball inside off the plate. Mark is first in the National League in the All-Star voting for catchers. Out in front of the changeup, swing and a miss. Count evens 1 ball and 1 strike on the Hulk. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. MCU leads 4-2 here in the top of the third. 1 away, bases empty. Here comes the pitch. Outside, hitters count 3 balls and 1 strike. That's a hard ground ball through the left side. It is a 1-out single for Mark Ruffalo. Hulk smash. And the Avengers have a base runner. Next up is Tony Stark. He's 0 for 1. Did he check it? No, he did not. According to the home plate umpire, count is 0-1 on Tony. Pitch is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Robert Downey Jr. plays first base. He can also play a little outfield. And he grounds it to the first baseman, throws to second, over his head, into left center field, and Ruffalo, it gets past the outfield. The Ruffalo will make it past third and come all the way home on the error. It's a 2-base error on Jimmy Fox, who throws the ball into the outfield. It's an E3. It leads to run number 5. Here is this comedy of errors. He grounds it from foul territory, spins and throws it over the head of Cal Ripken Jr., and then Eloy Jimenez tries to scoop it, gets past him, and by the time the ball gets back into the infield, the Hulk has already rounded third and it came home for run number 5. It's 5-2 Avengers. Next up is Dave Bautista, Drax the Destroyer, grounded out in the second. Runner off second is Tony Stark, 1 out here in the top of the third. 3-run lead. Pitch is outside, ball 1. Dave is 6 for his last 11. That is a .545 clip. Two balls and no strikes. This has a high scoring game written all over it. High pitch called a strike by the home plate umpire. Count is 2-1. Brian Abreu, the right-hander, warming in the Giants bullpen. Runner leads off second. Inside and tight. Hitters count 3-1. On deck is Idris Elba. Robert Downey Jr. leads off second. Gonzalez deals. One hopper to the second baseman, Brett Boone, throws to first in time, 2 away. And Tony Stark advances to third base. So runner at third and 2 away for Idris Elba. Idris singled and scored a run in his first at-bat. Needs a hit in order to get that run home. And he will get it. No, he will not. I spoke too soon. Nice over-the-shoulder catch by Brett Boone to retire the side. But they do get a run on the error, and at the end of 2.5, it's the Hollywood Avengers 5, San Francisco Giants 2. So we go to the bottom of the third. Up steps the catcher, Shea Langoliers. 240, 5 homers, 22 runs batted in. Here comes the pitch from Thor. In there, strike one. Slider off the plate, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Splitter inside, 2-1. Just missed the plate. Just gets a piece of the sinking fastball, count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lazy fly ball the other way. Drax settles under it for the first out.
The right fielder, number 19.
Wins leaders in the National League. 2-way tie for first place. Chris Hemsworth, Thor Odin's son with Cy Young himself. Teammate Tom Hiddleston is in second place with 8 wins. Next up is Tony Gwynn. 0 for 1 with a flyout in the first. The lineup is turned over for the San Francisco Giants. That's a line drive to center. Racing over is Vin Diesel. I am Groot. Makes the catch for out number 2. And Gwynn is retired. Next up, Chipper Jones. Chipper grounded out in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Chipper played for the Atlanta Braves in his real-life career. I don't know if he is a Hall of Famer yet. It's perhaps his name hasn't come up yet. It's very possible that he may be. Pop up down the third base line. Over the shoulder catch for Chadwick Boseman. T'Challa makes the catch in foul territory to retire the side. At the end of 3, it's a 3-run lead for the Avengers. They lead 5-2. Stepping into the plate in the top of the 4th is Vin Diesel. He has a solo, no, check that, a 2-run home run in the second inning. This is his second plate appearance. Fastball outside, ball 1. And that's a hard line drive the other way. Sliding catch by Tony Gwynn. Athletic for out number 1. Nice play. Hit it right on the nose, but nice baseball slide, shoestring catch for the out number 1. So the lineup turns over for the Avengers. Anthony Mackie is 2 for 2. He has a homer and a triple. Those are the 2 hardest ones. If you're looking at go hit for the cycle in a game, those are the 2 hardest ones to get. Backhanded by the third baseman, Chipper Jones throws across in time, 2 away. Welcome to the stream. This is Avengers Baseball. I'm RC Robbin. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Highest team ERA after 2 months of the season in the National League. The Giants are 3rd on that list, as you can see, with a 5.54 ERA. Next up is Tom Holland, Spider-Man. He had a double, an RBI double. He's 1 for 2. Outside, ball 1. Down and in, ball 2. Once a game, I like to show the difficulty setting, gameplay. Hitting difficulty is at All-Star. to All-Star. Pitching difficulty is at All-Star, just for accountability's sake. 2 balls, no strikes on Tom Holland. And that's a deep drive, but playable for Eloy Jimenez in left. He makes the catch to retire the side. So, after 3.5, it's a 3-run lead for the Avengers. The MCU leads 5-2. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Jimmy Fox, the first baseman, struck out in his first at-bat. Steps to the plate to lead off. And he pulls the 2-seam fastball foul for strike 1. Jimmy Fox, hard ground ball past the first baseman, Robert Downey Jr. Will they call it an error or a base hit? Could have been a bad hop for a hit, and I believe that that's what they will call it. And Jimmy Fox leads off with a single here in the bottom of the 4th. Next up is Cal Ripken Jr. He's 0 for 1 with the ground out. Varner leads off first. Grounder to third, over to second for 1, back to first. Double play. Round the horn double play, 5-4-3. And just like that, there are 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th. Next up is Brett Boone. Brett had a solo home run to dead center field in his first at-bat. Here comes the pitch from Hemsworth. Sinking fastball inside corner for strike 1. Brett has 19 homers on the season. Outside, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Brett Boone was one of those guys. He played for the Seattle Mariners in the 1990s. He was a guy who would hit 12 or 13 homers a year. Then all of a sudden, he was a 40 home run guy. I wonder in the 1990s what he might have done in order to accomplish that muscular feat. So the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Brett. And just like that, back-to-back home runs for Brett Boone. Can you say juice? That's Boone's 20th homer of the season. 441 feet from home plate. And the score is now 5-3 Avengers. Oof. Give him the juice. Next up is Eloy Jimenez, solo homer in the second. 2-run ball game. Fastball outside corner, strike 1. The juice is loose. This time he pops it up. Shallow center field, racing over into the right center field gap is Dave Bautista to make the catch for out number 2. Or check that, perhaps it was out number 3. And it was. At the end of 4, it's 5-3 Avengers. This is going to be a slugfest, ladies and gentlemen. So, leading off the top of the 5th is Chadwick Boseman, 1 for 2 with a single. Gio's still out there. And I think he might have jammed him, but it's going to bloop in there for a base hit. Leadoff single for T'Challa here in the top of the 5th. Now he's got his second hit of the ball game. Here's the replay. Next up is Chris Evans. 2 right-handers warming in the Giants bullpen. 2-seam fastball in there, strike 1. Chris is 0 for 2. Slow roller to the second baseman, backhands over to second for 1, back to first, and not in time. It is a fielder's choice out at second base. 1 away here in the top of the 5th. Chris Evans will take over at first. Next up is Mark Ruffalo. Mark's 1 for 2 with a single today. He has scored a run. Evans leads off first. Quick throw to first. Evans is back. He's safe. Pitch out, but nothing doing. Count is 1-0 on Ruffalo. Mark's 10 for his last 23. It's a 435 clip, so he's been hot lately. Fouls it back behind home plate. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. So Avengers are 37-23. The Los Angeles Dodgers have won today, so they're now 2.5 games behind the Dodgers. That's a line drive caught by Chipper Jones for out number 2. Nice reaction play by the future Hall of Famer at third base. So there's 2 down, and up steps Robert Downey Jr., who's 0 for 2. Grounds it, foul. Strike 1. Quick throw to first. Evans is back. Gio sets. Pitch out, nothing doing. Count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's a 5-3 lead for the MCU here in the top of the 5th. Checks his swing, changeup is outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Big lead at first. And he slices it to center. Easy play for Shane Victorino. He makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on at the end of 4.5. It's the Avengers 5, the Giants 3. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. Up steps Gurriel Jr. Flew out in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1. Swing and a miss at the fastball, strike 1. 97 on the radar gun. This is Avengers Baseball. I am RC Robbin. This is my attempt to play 162 games of Avengers Baseball, all on YouTube. No skipped innings, no simulated games. I mean, what's the rush? Take it one day at a time. Slices, foul. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Gurriel Jr. This is game number 61 of 162 plus. I say 162 plus because, of course, I hope to make the playoffs and the World Series. We'll see what happens. Difficulty setting is set to All-Star. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. There's 1 away. That's only his 2nd strikeout here in the bottom of the 5th. So, you know, Chris Hemsworth doesn't quite have his best stuff when he only has 2 strikeouts in 5 innings. Next up is Shane Victorino, switch hitter, batting from the left side against the righty. 0 for 1. Fastball, high fastball, called to strike by the home plate umpire. Tries to bunt this way on, but fouled it off for strike 2. Count is no balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, struck him out. 2 back-to-back strikeouts. 2 away. I think it was a, I don't know, slider perhaps? Maybe a rising fastball. Seemed to disappear on that outer half. So next up is Shea Langoliers, who flied out in the 3rd. 2 away, bases empty, bottom of the 5th. Fouls off the fastball, strike 1. Sinker outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Slider in there, strike 2. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Grounder to the mound. Hemsworth fields, throws to first in time, and the side is retired. So we've gone 5 innings. It is an official ball game here at Oracle Park. The Avengers lead 5-3. Let's go to the top of the 6th. In relief is Ryan Brazier, making his 11th appearance out of the bullpen. He has no record. His ERA is 5.23 and just over 10 innings pitched. And he will face, to lead off the top of the sixth, Drax the Destroyer, Dave Bautista, who is 0 for 2. And it's a 3-hopper to Cal Ripken Jr. at short, throws to first, 1 pitch, 1 away. Next up is Idris Elba, 1 for 2 with a single. Checks his swing slider is outside. So 2 right-handers warming in the Giants bullpen. Yusmerio Petit and Cooper Cassad getting loose. Jams him. Pop up. Left field. Easy play for Eloy Jimenez, and there are 2 away.
Now batting, number 32.
So batting next is Vin Diesel. He's 1 for 2 with a 2-run homer in the second inning. I am Groot. Pulls it foul for strike 1. Imagine getting a paycheck from the Marvel Cinematic Universe just for 3 words. I am Groot. Line drive to center. Victorino, easy 1-2-3 inning for the Giants. So 5.5 complete. 5-3 Avengers. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Lineup turns over once again for the Giants. Tony Gwynn is 0 for 2, 2 flyouts. Hemsworth is still out there on the mound for the 6th inning. And that's a line drive over the head of the third baseman. It is a single to the opposite field for Tony Gwynn. He did that about 2,000 times in his major league career. Tony Gwynn is a 3,000 hit guy. So runner at first, nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. Up steps Chipper Jones, who's 0 for 2. And that's a line drive headed down into the right field corner. 1 hop off the wall. Batista tosses it back in. Big turn at third, but he will hold. However, they are now threatening as the tying runs are at second and third with nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. Right in front of that 309 sign, Batista gets it back in quickly and prevents the runner at third from scoring. But there's now runners on second and third and nobody out. So what we need to do is we need to go to the manager's office and the bullpen. And we need to get Paul Bettany up and Paul Rudd up. And we need to go to the mound to talk things over with Thor Odinson. So Jimmy Fox is up next. He is 1 for 2. He has a single in the 4th. He leads the team with 20 home runs. So we have to be very careful. Fastball in there, strike 1. And that is a lazy fly ball to center field. Racing over is Vin Diesel. He makes the catch, tagging at third, and coming home is the fronter. It is not in time. It is a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Jimmy Fox. And this is now a 1-run ball game. MCU leads 5-4. Next up is Cal Ripken Jr. Runner at second, 1 away here in the 6th. Fouls it back, strike 1. It's a 1-run ball game. Cal Ripken Jr. is hitting .303 with runners in scoring position. A single could tie this ball game. Slider low, count 1 ball and 1 strike on Cal. Cal Ripken Jr. is a former Baltimore Oriole who is a Hall of Famer. He's famous for having played 2,632 consecutive Major League Baseball games. Splitter inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. And Hemsworth, this looks like the wheels are falling off the wagon. This could be his last batter. And he grounds it foul. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner at second. 5-4 lead for the Avengers. Here's the pitch. Hard ground ball to the shortstop. He holds him to second. Throws to first in time. Nice play by Sam Wilson at shortstop. And there are 2 away.
Now back, second baseman,
So Brett Boone has 2 home runs today. This is the most recent one in the 4th, where he put a hurting on that baseball. He's 2 for 2 with 2 homers. Grounder up the middle, ranging to the, throws to first in time. Nice play, cut the check by Anthony Mackie to retire the side. It's 5.5. No, check that. 6 complete here at Oracle Park. The Avengers hang on to a slim 5-4 advantage. So we go to the top of the 7th. Up steps Anthony Mackie. He's 2 for 3. He has a homer and a triple. Now switch hitting from the left side against the righty Brazier. Breaking ball outside, ball 1. And I think that that's going to be all for Chris Hemsworth. We're going to put in Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, to pitch the 8th. Actually, I don't think I like that. Hold on. Back to the manager's office and the bullpen. Sorry. You know what? Now, Paul Rudd's coming in. Got to trust you guys. He is Ant-Man. Lines it upstairs behind home plate. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Mackie. Got to trust the guys that got you there. Come on. And that's a line drive. Base hit and hit number 3 for the new Captain America. And the Avengers have the leadoff man on here in the top of the 7th. They do need an insurance run. Here's the replay. Next up is Spider-Man. Tom Holland. Tom is 1 for 3 with an RBI double today. Pitch out, nothing doing. Fastest player on the team is Anthony Mackie, so they know that this is a perfect opportunity to steal. At the knees, strike 1, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Quick throw to first. He's back. And he lines it into the seats for strike 2. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fouls it back. We'll do it again. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's important for Holland to move him over to second, even if he has to make an out. See if he can get the job done. And that's a line drive, and he doesn't. Line drive to center field. Shane Victorino makes the catch for out number 1, and the runner retreats to first base. Next up is the late, great Chadwick Boseman, who's 2 for 3 with 2 singles today. Fouls off the slider, strike 1. Ryan Brazier has some good stuff. Slider outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch out, count is 2-1. Runner leads off first. And that's a deep drive, but right at the left fielder, Eloy Jimenez, for out number 2. So, Anthony Mackie has a single to lead off the inning. So, runner at first and nobody out. Now there's a runner at first and 2 outs. So, they are unsuccessful. Let's go MCU. Thank you, Outlander. You can feel the momentum slipping away. Started off the game hot, and now just seems to get closer and closer. Next up is Chris Evans, who's 0 for 3. Big lead at first. Pitches outside. No. That pitch catches the outside corner for strike 1. Evans is a switch hitter, hitting from the left side against the righty Brazier. Steve Rogers. Big lead at first. He's going. Pitch is high. Throw down to second is not in time. It is a stolen base for Anthony Mackie. Here's the replay. It's really stolen on the pitcher. So runner is in scoring position with 2 outs for Chris Evans. Count is 1-1. Backs him off the plate with the slider. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Single could score that 6th run. Fouls off the fastball. 96 on the radar gun. Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner leads off second. Top of the 7th. 5-4 lead for the MCU. Here's the pitch. Down and in. Full count. 3-2. On deck is Mark Ruffalo. Brazier sets and delivers. And that's a ball 4. So he walks him. So as Mark Ruffalo steps up to the plate, there will be runners at first and second with 2 outs. Mark's 1 for 3 with a single today. Here comes the pitch from Brazier. And he grounds it foul for strike 1. Mark's hitting .345 with runners in scoring position, so that runner at second base, he's comfortable seeing him over there. Just gets a piece of the slider, and the count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on the Hulk. Fouls it back. We'll do it again. 23 pitches for Brazier this inning. So it's been a struggle, but pops him up in foul territory. Jimmy Fox on the first base side makes the catch to retire the side. So get up and stretch, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the 7th inning stretch. It's a 5-4 lead for the Avengers. We go to, do we want to change pitches? Yes, I do. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, is pitching in his 20th game out of the bullpen. He's 1-0 with a 5.23 earned run average. And stepping up to the plate is Eloy Jimenez, who in the 2nd inning did this, hit this bomb to left field. Line drive shot. So he is 1 for 2. And that is a line drive, bloop down the right field. Check that left field line. Big turn at first. He's heading to second. The throw to second base is in time. He threw him out. What a throw from Idris Elba. It's a single and a throw, an assist from left field from Idris Elba. Gunned him out. So the bases are empty and there's 1 away on the great defensive play by Hemdahl. Next up is Lourdes Gurriel Jr. 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Ground out. Fastball in there, strike 1. So how the fortunes can turn with a great defensive play. Gurriel pulls it foul. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. So it could have been runner at second base and nobody out. And instead, bases are empty and 1 out. Fastball inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Gurriel Jr. Swing and a miss, struck him out. There are 2 away. So bases empty and 2 away for Shane Victorino, switch hitter batting from the left side. It's 0 for 2. 12-6. Breaking ball in there for a strike. And that's a pop-up short center field. There is Tom Holland. Spider-Man makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Ant-Man. As we go to the 8th inning, it's a 5-4 lead for the Avengers.
Your attention, please.
Taking over for the Giants on the mound is Yusmeiro Petit, 2-0 with a 5.17 earned run average. And I'm going to go to the bullpen, manager, bullpen. Paul Bettany and Ed Norton are going to warm up. Actually, Ed Norton is going to sit down, and Jeremy Renner is going to warm up. And I'm going to leave in Langley. Okay, so anyway, leading off here in the top of the 8th is Robert Downey Jr. He's 0 for 3. We'll talk strategy next half inning. And he just gets a piece of the fastball, strike 1. Pops him up, short left field, racing in. He makes the catch for out number 1. Nice play by Jimenez in left. Running catch. Next up is Dave Bautista, who's 0 for 3. Right-handed pitcher against righty batter. Ground ball up the box. Cal Fields fires, got him. Nice range. Strong off-balance throw. And there are 2 away. Here's the replay. Covered a lot of ground up the middle. That's some nice defense. So, 2 quick outs. And up steps Idris Elba, who's 1 for 3 with the single. 5-4 lead for the MCU here in the top of the 8th. Swinging and misses the fastball, strike 1. Just gets a piece of the changeup, but the count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Two hopper, 2 Cal at short, throws to first. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Petit. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's a 5-4 lead for the MCU. So leading off for the Giants is Shea Langoliers, the catcher, who's 0 for 2. Fastball just low. Ball 1. Attendance 33,364 here at Oracle Park. That is certainly not a sellout. Fouls off the 2-seam fastball. Count as 1 ball and 1 strike. Paul Rudd is out there for his 2nd inning of work. This may be his last batter. Grounder up the third base line. They were playing him to pull. Long throw from Black Panther. In time, 1 away. Here's the view down the third base line. Could have been a double if they had not been playing him on the line. So next up is Tony Gwynn. So we're going to go to the bullpen, and we are going to bring in Paul Bettany. Paul Bettany is the Vision, left-handed reliever. 22nd game out of the bullpen. He's 2-1 with a 3.86 earned run average. Left-handed pitcher against the lefty, Tony Gwynn. And he pulls it foul for strike 1. And that's a line drive to center field. There is Vin Diesel. I am Groot. And that's out number 2. That's the translation. I am Groot means out number 2. Next up is Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones is a switch hitter, batting from now the right side against the lefty Paul Bettany. Fastball, triple digits on the radar gun, but it's low for ball 1. Fouls off the sinking fastball. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike to Chipper Jones. Grounds at the third base line, but it is a foul ball. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, struck him out. 101 miles an hour on the radar gun, and the side is retired. We will go to the top of the 9th with the Avengers leading 5-4. So leading off for the Avengers is Vin Diesel, 1 for 3 with that 2-run homer back in the 2nd inning. And here comes the pitch from Petit. Fastball outside, ball 1. We're going to go to the manager's office and the bullpen. And it's righties all across the board. Jeremy Renner scheduled to put him in the game. Jeremy Renner or Hawkeye is going to close this ball game out in the bottom of the 9th. So Vin Diesel has a 1-0 count. Pulls it foul. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Inside, 2-1. That's a drive towards the left center field gap, and it will roll all the way to the wall. Rounding first and heading to second is Vin Diesel. He's in there with a leadoff double here in the top of the 9th inning. That's his second double of the season. Vin Diesel's playing center field, giving a day off to Don Cheadle in center. War Machine, who's the starting center fielder. So next up is Anthony Mackie, who's 3 for 4. He needs a double for the cycle. He has a homer, a single, a triple. And he might have it. This ball is just foul. That could have been it, ladies and gentlemen. He would have hit for the cycle. But now it's just strike one. Runner leads off second. Nobody out here in the top of the 9th. 5-4 lead for the Avengers. Pitch is high, ball one. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Anthony Mackie's hitting .404 with runners in scoring position, so he has absolutely no problem seeing that runner at second base. But this time he pops it up to center field. Shane Victorino settles under it, makes the catch for out number 1.
Now batting, second base.
Next up is Tom Holland, who doubled in this ball game. He is 1 for 4. 1 out, runner at second. Fastball outside, ball one. Tom Holland is hitting .578 with runners in scoring position. He has been the MVP of the team without a doubt. That time he couldn't hold back the swing. Pitch was outside. He swung. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike on Spider-Man. That's a deep drive, but playable for Victorino in the left center field gap. He makes the catch for out number 2. So now there are 2 outs with a runner at second base. And all game long they have been having trouble getting hits with runners in scoring position. Next up is Black Panther. Chadwick Boseman is 2 for 4 with 2 singles. He needs a single to plate that run. See what happens. Pitch is outside, ball one. And it is a ground ball to short. In the dirt, scooped nicely by Jimmy Fox. They retire the side, so they do not get that insurance run home. We go to the bottom of the 9th, last licks for San Francisco. They need a run to tie. It's 5-4, Avengers. Do you want to change pitchers? Yes, I do. In relief comes Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye. Jeremy is 0-2. He has 12 saves in 14 save appearances. Leading off is Jimmy Fox. He is 1 for 2 with an RBI single. Here comes the pitch from Hawkeye. Hard ground ball, base hit through the box. It's a leadoff single for Jimmy Fox, and he's 2 for 3. And this is not the way they drew it up in the. It's not the way they drew it up on the chalkboard in the clubhouse. The Avengers, I think, probably didn't think it would be this difficult. Leading off for the, not leading off, check that. Kyle Ripken Jr. is 0 for 3 today. Steps up to the plate. Runner at first here with nobody out. The tying run is at first. Double play. That's right. Two-seam fastball, inside corner, strike one. Runner leads off first. Slider outside, count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. And he pulls the fastball foul. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes to the... I mean, there's Robert Downey Jr., who is the Iron Man, and then there's the baseball Iron Man, Cal Ripken Jr., so I guess they can both share the nickname. Swing and a miss, struck him out on the two-seam fastball, and there's 1 away here in the bottom of the 9th. You want to know if it was a strike, and the umpire said yes, it was. Inside part of the plate, jams him. 98 on the radar gun. Next up is Brett Boone. Brett has 2 home runs today, looking for a third. A third would win the game in walk-off fashion. He's 2 for 3. Here comes the pitch from Renner. Outside, ball 1. Fouls off the slider. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody is warming in the Avengers bullpen. This is it. It's Renner or go home. Fastball 101 on the radar gun, but just misses inside. So the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Fouls it upstairs behind home plate. Count evens. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner at first. Bottom of the 9th. 5-4 lead for the MCU. The tying run is at first. The winning run is at the plate. Here comes the pitch from Hawkeye. And he lines it late on it. Count remains 2-2. Again, fouls it off. This time he pulls it down the third baseline, foul. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that time it is a shallow fly ball to center. Vin Diesel makes the catch. I am Groot. And this time I am Groot means that is the second out of the inning. The San Francisco Giants are down to their final out of the ball game. Representing that out is Eloy Jimenez, who had a homer of his own earlier in this game. He's 2 for 3 with a single, a homer. He represents both the last out of the game and the winning run at the plate. Here comes the pitch from Renner. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. High pitch, called strike 2 by the home plate umpire. The count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes, and the Giants are down to their final strike of the game. Runner leads off first. Line drive caught by Robert Downey Jr. Ball game over. Avengers win 5-4. And they take this first game of a 4-game series on the road against the San Francisco Giants, their rival in the division. The Avengers are now 38-23 on the season. Good game. Thank you so much, Outlander. The winning pitcher is Chris Hemsworth, Thor Odinson, who gets double-digit wins, actually to lead not only the team, but also lead the National League with 10 wins here. Mr. Fast Hands, Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man saves the day. He is Iron Man. So, the final. Hollywood Avengers, 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors. San Francisco Giants, 4 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. Like I said before, Chris Hemsworth gets the win. That's his 10th. Gio Gonzalez gets the loss. Jeremy Renner gets save number 13 on the season. And Anthony Mackie, a double short of the cycle. It was 3 for 5. He had a homer, a triple, a single, 2 runs scored. Anthony Mackie cut the check. He is your player of the game. And this has been a broadcast of Avengers Baseball. I am RC Robbin. Thank you for joining me. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. If you don't like baseball, why would you be watching this? But if you don't like baseball, there are plenty of other playlists on my YouTube channel. Please feel free to surf through them and see if there's something else that you like. We have a lot of variety on the channel, Shenanigans with RC Robbin. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to the Outlander. Thank you to I believe I can't remember what his name was, but thank you for coming anyway. You were the political guy. Sorry, politics is not my bag. I'm here to have fun. So, the final here at Oracle Park. The Hollywood Avengers win 5-4. Take care of yourself. See you again soon.